All right. Hi, guys. I want to welcome you to Illinois right now. We're over here at Carroll's Bastions. How portable are these gardens? But as I told you, I wanted to show you how to start growing in this. Where to plant, where to do some things, answer some questions for you. And obviously, this is a work day. So promise that I will record. We're doing the best that we can. Me and Peggy over here, my sidekick here.
Hello.
And she's from Redbud, Illinois. So we know about this different growing seasons in different places. So
Absolutely.
we're going to get swapped around here, get ready to go, and rock and roll. So let me do this. And here we go. And okay, so welcome to the Tower Garden. We're getting ready for spring. So cool. We're going to talk about planting like a Christmas tree. But before we do that, I want to double check some things. I want to make sure you have new net pods. If your net pods last year, maybe you had tomatoes and things like that, and they broke it through the bottom. So we want to make sure that you have net pods or hooks on hand. The hooks are absolutely wonderful because you can go like the strawberry slips that we have on the website. You can take a hook and set it right down in here, and I'll show you that later. And with the roots already attached, and just it would be ready to go, and it's much easier. But in growing through the spring and summer, these little net pods and hooks, let's talk about that. The hooks are ideal for your lettuces and things like this that do not get big roots right here. The tomatoes, cucumber, squash, zucchini, I highly recommend using the net pods right here because it holds it in there much better. So green, leafy greens, baby greens, things like this, perfect. Your cucumbers, things like that, you want to use a net pod. So a little variety right there. Next thing you want to do is make sure you have plenty of nutrients on hand. Is this not cool? This is very, very cool. 1 gallon, both the A and B, because we got to have A and B, ABC, no, but AB, of nutrients is $60 per year per tower. That grows everything. It's all in one for you. It's all in one. So it grows everything. So make sure you have this on hand. We want to take our lights off if you've been inside wintertime. We're going to store those. We're going to find our shower cap, put our shower cap back on here for the winter. And summer, spring and summer. Just a couple of tips and tricks before we talk about that planting. Some folks have the old timer, which is set on 15 minutes on and 15 minutes off. This is the new timer that we have now available. And you press this little button here, end O for outdoors. Very simple. You can always plug this into the outlet closest to where your house or your breeding put that. Also, in using this, we'll talk about that. Make sure you get an outside extension cord, a nice heavy duty one that you can run. I have like 5 of them on one outlet, which is really cool, but I use a heavy duty outlet cord and I run it up underneath my rocks. Probably shouldn't do that, but we've got connectors. There's a connector box that it's not getting wet there. Outdoor, very important. Another safety feature when you're out here, this is very important. When you put your pump down in there, you want to do a little, I call it a little knot right here. You don't want see how that is right there? That's a safety feature so that your water, if you overflow, your water's not running straight down into this outlet. It's going to have to go up and over and around like a hamster, but it's not. So make sure that's a big safety feature right there. So again, not heavy duty extension cord, plug this in, I for indoors, O for outdoors. So you'll want to plug that out. Starting off, check your pump. And if you haven't already done so, this is another thing to always have on hand, an extra pump and extra timer. Why is that? We have a 5-year warranty on our new pumps. But in the middle of the summer, it happens to me every year. I get phone calls where people's pumps have gone bad. Well, they're man-made. So things are going to happen like that. But if you have a backup and all your produce is out here, and your tomatoes are huge and growing out here, you can simply run over and say, I heard about that. Take that pump off, put a new pump on, call the company, and we'll send you another backup. But always have a backup pump and timer. It's very, very good for you. It's very important for you, too. Another feature that highly recommend is a support cage. Why is that? Well, springtime, showers, lots of hail, lots of wind, but it serves as two purposes. One, our squash down here, this is the 8-ball squash. So this squash is going to get rather big right here. And so as this grows, it's going to support the squash over here. It also supports the tower so that if you have a windstorm, it's not going to blow this tower over. Now, I don't have water in this right now. It's not going to blow the tower over because this locks it into place right here. It's key for you. And this morning was funny because I actually did it to myself. Shame the devil and tell the truth. I always do that. Two things. If you've stored your tower from last year, you're going to have two sets of rods. One for the support cage and one for in here, the shaft, to start building your tower. Well, I really goofed up because I'd already put it together, but guess what? It was the rods for the tower. So the shorter rods, you have two sets of rods, are going to go for the tower building. The longer rods are going to be right here. So anybody that's stored it, that's what you want to think about. And if you don't, you'll say, oh yeah, she told me about that. That happens to me. But you see how this locks into place. Another key, I have people all the time call me and say, this thing won't work. It won't work. Simplify it. This rod here, which I've got it covered up, you're going to take it, you're going to put the rod here. There is a that in place underneath. You're going to line the holes up, and then you're going to take this and you're going to this rod underneath this white, hold it, screw it into place and tight, and then you'll add these on there to cover that rod up. So very important. I just had somebody the other day. So now let's talk about planting. I don't think there's anything other than that. Setting it up, we've got covered that. Yes, there is. We want 8 to 10 hours of full sun, a nice breeze. We've got this on the deck right here, and it's going to be hot in the summertime, but there's a nice breeze that comes through here. So you want your plants to flow. You want your plants to flow like your hair blowing in the wind, okay? So to do that so that it's flowing and blowing and everything, then you let. So you can also start your own seeds. Very important. Soak your rock wool for 30 minutes. Get it soaking wet. And then you could take your seeds, and you can see on the packages that the company has sent you in the Tower Garden, it tells you how many seeds to put in there. But now like a green bean or something like that, you're only going to put one seed in. A tomato, you're going to put 1 to 2 in. So things like that. But soak it there, and then put it in good sunlight, good light, not through a window, because those little plants are stretching like this to try to get the light. So you want to get your seedlings, your seeds perfect, where the roots are going to come through. And as soon as the roots come through that rock wool, and that little bitty head sticks up like here, bring it over here and let's plant it. Here's an example of a nice healthy seedling. This is a little, you can see here, I'm going to come up here. You see how the roots are coming through here? And this is set up. This is perfectly ready to come over here and plant right here. Now, this is a little baby lettuce because I like people to see the teeny tiny one. Oop, oop, oop. That was a mess up. Let's get this one. So this one is a new little butter crunch. And you have that in your package. And again, you see those little baby roots there. You see this growth up here at the top. This is ready to go in. And now count the days and journal it. But as soon as you put it in there, within 21 days or less, you're going to be eating that salad off of there. So there's that right there. So in the meantime, these are seedlings. Now you can plant your own seeds, or as you know, Tennessee Urban Farm is a seedling provider. And we are proud of our seedlings. My husband, Dan, my man, is the master seeder, as you all know, and I'm the master talker. So that's our story. We're sticking to that one. As these net pods, I want to come back to this. As we're planting, I'll pull this out. But you want to hear this. I'm going to put this in. This is towards the back of the tower right here. You want to put this in, and you want to hear it. Snap, snap. You want to make sure that it snaps, snaps, so that it's in here and it's not out of here. I see that a lot of times, and that doesn't get the right roots there. So plant like it. A Christmas tree. You see these taller things like this, we put at the top. We could put some lettuces around here at the bottom. You can get an extension. This holds 20 plants, but you can get the extension 28. And by the way, we have a new combo now that has 2 more of these. It gives it another 4. And then it gives you 16 baby greens. So you can grow now in a 2.5 by square foot, 40 plants this tall, 40 plants, a variety of plants. So you can use those baby greens for baby herbs and lettuces and microgreens, baby greens, and cut and harvest, cut and harvest, and cut and harvest. And we'll talk about that the next section when we're going to cut and harvest and how to harvest it, because now we're just getting out. So if you get it out now, we still have a chance for frost up all the way up through Mother's Day. So if put it on the wheels, put it where you can at least cover it. If frost comes up, watch your weather, because it is perfect weather. Last night it was 38 degrees. Basil does not like it below 55. I'll tell you that right now. All this other stuff, it can handle it. But basil, 55, you're going to get the leaves are going to turn brown, but it will survive. So again, we want to plant cucumbers, tomatoes, and do it opposite. A tomato here, or a tomato here, and a tomato back here. So do opposite. Don't plant them all in front where it can lean here. Cucumber, watermelon, your viney stuff down at the bottom. I've had people put a tomato up here. That doesn't work very well. I've had people put cucumbers up here. That doesn't work. We want to think about vining. We want to think about bushing out. Here's my 8-ball zucchini. If you've never tried one, you got to get one. They're awesome. But here's your zucchinis and your squashes. Again, you're rotating, you're getting some air. You always want to think about airflow. So this will hold 20 different plants and nothing's going to cross-pollinate, which is really cool. Up here, I would put a couple of peppers or a pepper or an eggplant. Eggplant takes a while to come to fruition, but when they do, oh my gosh, every week you're picking 1 to 2 off. So that, and same with peppers. But plant what you can eat now so that you can really reap the harvest right now. The kale, the chive, and Carol has eaten, look at this. She has cut and cut and cut. So cut and grow, cut and grow. This is the same thing. She has cut and grow baby kale. You can see how this is. Oh, I got to tell Carol Ann, I want to tell you. But you want to come over here for just 1 second. You want to see this stem right here? You really want to take that and take that off because bugs can harbor inside of that. So when you cut all your bigger, and I just use my nails, you want to take this bigger leaf right here and cut that off, but all the way to the stem so that you can see the stem as you cut and grow. You can see, you can get, this kale can last 4 to 6 months on you. Isn't that crazy? Because you get a couple of different kales, but you see how I'm cutting it to the stem right here? And that's the same with your lettuce. As you're cutting your lettuce, 1 or 2, you could take the whole head, or you can come in here and just cut these bigger leaves, leaving all this new growth right here to come back and grow, cut and grow. And here's your Swiss chard. The Swiss chard is so nutritious. It's just the best you can possibly get. But it too will get big roots just as this. In fact, I'm going to show you what the root system looks like this, because you know me. Smell my roots. You know how I am. Look at that. These chives. Smell my roots. And I mean, they do just smell like just awesome good chives. Man. Somebody asked me if you could eat the roots. I don't see why not. I did have one fellow, he juiced them, but you talk about nutritious. Change your bathroom habit, maybe. So that's what my story, I'm sticking to it. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. And we're going to start doing some more of these. Again, just want to let you know, get your extension if you want, get the supplies that you're going to need for the summer. And if you haven't gotten yours, get with me and I'm happy to help you. Go to the website and pick out everything that you need. Again, always a spare pump, always a spare timer, a gallon of the nutrients, maybe some extra net pods and hooks, always your support cage. If you have a home garden, somebody called me about this the other day. I won't say who it is. Somebody called me. They got a support cage. This is not for the home garden. This is the Flex Garden, which is very flexible. We took the lights off. We're out here. We're putting the support cage on. So the support cage does not go for the home lights at the home garden. So just want to make sure that you all know that. And I'm just going to go ahead and sign off and tell everybody, be blessed and not stressed. God loves you and we love you too from Tennessee Urban Farms. Blessings now.
Your low video or low battery came on.
Boy, that was fast.
And somebody also, like towards the beginning, said they couldn't get on.
See, that's why we recorded it. Now, how